Morning. It's been a long time since I've been on the channel. It's been a few life-changing stuff that went through since the last time that I've posted. But well, we'll get through everything as we get through the sets and get through everything. But the main focus of the channel that I wanna focus on is mainly fitness, what I'm doing, and as I've said in previous videos, just getting through, normal topics of every day in the fitness industry, just speaking your mind and going forward from that. So that have set in mind plans for competing is a little bit of let's just say it's not in the main plan for this year. I'm going to take a bit off, get a bit of muscle maturity on. Density is the biggest thing that we're going to chase, and it's the main focus. So we'll see how it goes from there. Steph and I have spoken. We have a few plans in action just to minimize strategically how we're going to go forward with everything, body parts that needs to come up and all that sort of stuff. So, and as I'm going to go through my program, also going to explain, where I get my most contractions, where I struggle the most, all that sort of stuff. And if there is any questions, in the comments or anything like that, let me know. Let me also know what kind of content you guys would want to see. Is it more physique updates, what the situation is, just more motivational stuff, whatever. I'm still new, still learning, so let's get into it. We have a push day today, so focusing a lot on chest and mostly also delts, but I get a bit more volume in on my chest. More intensity. I'm more focus driven nowadays with less volume, more intensity. I feel it gets me a lot more activated and just feel a lot better. I train the way that I used to train before I competed, in a sense, and I actually enjoy it now. It's less, training science-based, whatever that is nowadays. I don't know. You just lift correctly. There's nothing science-based about lifting correctly and not lifting correctly. Just get the weight till where it needs to go from A to B using the correct muscle. That's it. And I see there was a lot of overthinking nowadays, prospectively around that. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to train in the way that I used to train, that I saw actually big results, and I enjoy it. Not that I didn't get results the last year or two, but it just, I think I overthought it about a lot, and I just need to get that out of the way, and just I'm standing in my own way and just focusing forward on that. So yeah, let's go. Incorporating the Meadows row, I see on my chest there's a lot of, what can I say, how can I call it, blending between, there's not a lot of muscle separation between my side obliques and my chest at the side. So I think what Steph and I are trying to accomplish is split, try to get more separation, grow the muscle so that there's separation between my side obliques and my chest. So therefore we're doing the Meadows rows outside chest, and it also gives that nice definition when you're on stage, just that separation. It helps a lot.
Easier.
And if you hear this and then go on bend your back, go on bend your knees, baby shake it to the max. With the DJ please turn up the bass to the max. Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max. 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 Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max.
Bad man she love, bad man she love, yeah. Bad man she love, bad man she love, bad man she love, yeah. Bad man she love, bad man she love, yeah. Your pussy fat inna your shot.
Oh, you dealing with the boss?
Yeah. Make you come first, coulda never take a last. Yeah. Like a ball pump up the pussy fast.
It's a frustrating thing. There's always something. As I did my meters row now, felt something in my tricep. Probably just something small, I hope. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a long off season, so the meals that we're trying to push is we're still trying to be healthy as possible, but not focus as much on staying lean. You know, there is a bit of how can I say it? You know, not as much strictness that we need as normal, because we have a lot of time off. The only focus point is just keeping the digestive healthy. If the digestion is healthy, then everything will be okay. You know, just monitor that and pushing food, not chasing the scale per se. Not that I'm complaining if it goes up. As long as it's quality, then it's fine. But we're not chasing the scale. We're not chasing numbers. The only place where we're chasing numbers is in the gym. See how heavy we can push with how many reps we can do it. You know, setting up PBs. That's what off season is all about. It's trying to see how high you can push your intensity, your rest between gyms or sessions, all that stuff. So yeah, this next is on to the dumbbell press. So for some or other reason, I don't know why, I've always been different. I'm doing 3/4 reps on my dumbbell press at the moment. The reason being just to activate more the lower outside pec for getting a deeper stretch, and then you don't have to go all the way out. But doing that also, you can normally you would be able to go heavier because you don't have to do the full range of motion. But no, Francois doesn't get that right. I have to go lighter for some other reason, but I mean, perspectively, I think that makes sense because of my outside pec not being as developed as it should be. It's weaker, you know. So I think that's why, and that's why we are working on the outside pec. Hence, only going on 60 kilograms with sorry, my producer there on the other side, having a lot to say about the weight that I'm pushing. So we're going to do the 60s, and then from there, hopefully we do two incline sets, and then we're gonna have to go on the proper weight that I actually can do with full range of motion. So let's go.
Não cessa do fim de semana, vai me parar, 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 vai me parar.
Enquanto parede, vai, enquanto parede, enquanto parede, vai, enquanto parede.
Não cessa do fim de semana, só o limão. Ela chega e desencana com passo bem solto, passo bem solto, passo bem solto. Não cessa do fim de semana, vai me parar, vai me parar, vai me parar, vai me parar.
As we said, struggle a lot with with the lower part of the rep because of my lower pec. So yeah, we'll get that sorted out. That's why we're here. That's why we're in the gym. If everything was perfect and easy, we wouldn't need to be here. Now do we? So yeah, 3 reps between 8 and 10, between 3 sets between 8 and 10 reps, depending on how much you can get out. Focusing on, you know, contraction, activating, stimulus. That's what you're after. Also, let's see how the second set goes, because normally struggling on your first set, it's always, for me it's like that, always struggling on my first set. Second set always feels a lot better. So let's see how it feels.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Get a feeling that I never had before. You know I get a feeling. Sometimes I get a feeling.
Elbows, yeah. That's the thing about off season. Having to add any heavy weight to a lift kills your joints, you know. So make sure you have a protocol in place. Take vitamins, especially your vitamins, and all those guys out there, you know, that's not taking their health seriously. Please, I don't want to hear stories about you guys. Hey, this is supposed to be a high discipline sport. I know we're supposed to, you know, bodybuilding isn't as healthy as people would want it to have, but I mean, the best sportsman in the world says it. The best bodybuilders in history says it. Bodybuilding isn't healthy. So the least we can do is do our duties towards the people around us to keep healthy, to keep safe. You know, just don't be selfish. Don't spare on the change at the end of the month on your vitamins just because you can't afford it. If bodybuilding is it's expensive. So either you must decide from the beginning, go all in, or not at all. Otherwise, if you're gonna half-ass it, you're just gonna kill yourself. That's it. always try to go to failure the best and closest you can. At least, you know, between at least having 3 sets at most in the tank left. It's just the best way to get hypertrophy stimulated in the muscle that you're targeting. I mean, getting that rep range, it doesn't really matter. Rep range is between 5 and 30. There's been studies done about it. Go read about it. Anything in between those rep ranges stimulates hypertrophy. The biggest secret behind it is just get in between at least 1 to 3 reps before failure, or even till failure. You understand? That's the best thing. Always try to go to failure. If you want to go to 30 and you fail on 25 reps, then that's stimulating hypertrophy. So if you want to go to 5 reps, or if you want to go to 8 reps and you fail at 5, that's it. Hypertrophy stimulus is being activated. So, and that's the focus point for me in my training. That's it. So now we're getting to the actual exercise that I prefer. Still wouldn't say it's on my max, because the way that I did my push sessions on the previous program was I started with this, so there wasn't any fatigue in my chest before I started the exercise. So now there's a bit of fatigue. So we're gonna go down a set of dumbbells, and then we're just gonna push it from there. See how many reps we get out. We're gonna aim for 10. Let's see how far we get. Triceps doesn't want to work with me this morning. Both of my triceps failed now. So it's more on the triceps than it is the chest. So I don't know what's going on. I think it was because of 2 days back I did arms. I think the numbers are still in my triceps. So I hope that's all. almost took my head off now. But yeah, we'll see how the next set goes. Safe to say I'm edging on the dangerous side for me now. Felt my elbows a lot, so I'm also in the cleanup phase now. So I think that's also a thing that is a huge factor for me at the moment. Especially can feel it on the joints. So yeah, let's go for another set. So how far we can get. We'll see if we can get to 8. But I think we'll only get to 5, but we'll see. Maybe I can push past that. We'll never know if we don't try, eh? chest press for me, that's failure to the max. So yeah, let's put these away. Next exercise. Getting thickness in your chest, getting overall size, it's just the 3D look. Flies need to be incorporated. I mean, for me, there's different styles of you applying different ways of doing chest flies. You know, what works for you works for you. I just feel that I have a huge lack of genes on my side when it comes to chest. You know, for me, it's especially my whole upper body. It's just feel it's behind. I struggle with it. It feels like I'm complaining, but I'm not complaining. It's just I have one of those problems that men want. You know, I have oversized legs. It feels like they're compensating for something. I don't know what, but I don't have to train the amount of legs that a normal guy has to train for them to get size. A lot of guys ask me, "Yo, I want to train legs with you. I promise you, if you challenge me in leg session, I promise you, you will out-train me. You will. It's just I struggle to get a loving in leg day. It's one of those things where everyone hates leg day. It's just I don't skip it. You know, there's a difference. But yeah, that's enough blabbing about me. Let's get on with the sets. Chest flies is one of those things where it's not as much a compound movement, so it's isolation. So the focus point of it should be to get activation where it should be felt, and the form should be proper, and you should have control of the weight. Sometimes, so it won't be the most scandalous thing if you go a bit light on flies, you know. There's a lot of danger to flies as well, in my opinion, because you can hurt your bicep. You can tear your bicep right off the bone if you don't have proper form and you're trying to go too heavy and all that sort of stuff. But to get proper activation, to get proper training on your chest while doing flies, just go a bit light to focus on form. You know, that's it. Stop ego lifting. Okay, so as you can see, pump cover is off. Ooh. It gets humid here by the shorelines. Okay, getting a bit of a sweat on in the winter mornings, but yeah, enjoying the session so far. Let's just see. I went one plate lower. Just felt I didn't have all the control that I needed on the fly, so I went one plate lower, one plate lighter. So maybe I'll look better and feel better. feeling what I feel this morning with my triceps. I already had challenges with it while doing my dumbbell chest press, so I'm going to go much lighter this morning. Just, you know, don't want to take any chances. Tricep can be a whole different story if you're injured, so let's see how it feels. So, on to the next. I just did a light set with that to finish off with the triceps. Yeah, something doesn't feel quite right, but oh well. We'll see how it goes. Over to a superset, finishing off with the superset. Working nicely on the side delts and rear delts. Getting the rear delts up was a bit of a challenge of last year, but because I didn't feel a contraction. There was nowhere contraction for me when I did a rear delt fly or something like that, because I didn't feel the muscle. But now, as of late, the last 2-3 months, I could actually feel there's a contraction now. So that means that there's muscle building and there's actually progress going forward. So that's one of the main things that people struggle on a muscle, that they struggle to they don't feel contraction. So it'll come, just be patient with it, it'll grow. The reason I'm doing a leaning shoulder raises on the cable, it's just to get a wider range of motion, a bigger one, just to activate more muscle fibers, to get in more into that deeper muscle fibers that don't normally activate on a normal dumbbell fly. You know, if you get an angle, it's a lot further that you can lift the dumbbell or lift the cable weight. Just a bit more contraction, get that extra bit more that you're going to need against the guy next to you while on stage. you do an exercise that burns a lot like this, especially in a superset. Oh, yeah. You guys that train supersets on shoulders should know this feeling. See, when you train, what you always should do is, if you have an alternating exercise, alternating with between arms, what I do is I use my weakest side first, especially on a side where you know you're going to go to failure. Because what's the use? You start with your stronger side, you get to 12, but now you get to your weaker side, now you only get 10. Now you've got 2 reps more on one side than on the other side, you know. That's a recipe for building uneven and getting your ratios and your stage presence cut out. It's easiest way to lose points, so just check that. Definition is gone. Feel a bit like a marshmallow, looking like a cloud, but it's okay. We'll get there. No one is expecting anyone to look good in off season, especially not compared to how you're supposed to look on stage. So. And like I said in the beginning of the video, we don't need to worry about. I don't want to worry about my physique in the off season. It's very difficult, especially in a sport where your physique is set on the sport is set on how you look. You know, you're being judged on how you look. And that translates over in your mind into, somewhat, for me personally, I feel a lot, I speak for a lot of people, I think, when I say the amount of confidence you have is measured in the way that you look. So we can go on and on. There's so a lot to talk about when it comes to a mindset of bodybuilding and mindset of the sport. And there's so many different opinions out there, so many different ways to look at things. The only thing you can do is talk about how you feel and express how you find things and how you get through your things that you need to go through to get to where you are and get through to the end goal, to get through your off season. And for me, I try to steer away from putting my worth in how I look, especially in the off season. But also in the other mindset, you can't, also like I said in the beginning of the video, you can't just let go of everything and eat whatever you want, because then you're also not going to get gains, because you're going to put your digestive system under so much stress. And if your nervous system is under stress, you're not going to be healthy, and if you're not healthy, you're not going to recover, and if you don't recover, you don't repair, you know, your tissue muscle, so you're not going to grow. So finding a balance in everything is the goal at the moment. And being open and transparent with you guys is also a thing that I would love to, you know, do. So also, like I said in the beginning of the video, if there's any questions, you know, ask me. Send me a DM on Instagram. Send me a DM on Facebook. Whatever, I'm available on socials. You know, just go look me up. Even ask me in the comment section. I'll answer in the comment section as well. And also tell me what you guys want to see. We'll go from there and see what I can do for you guys to make more content, to inspire you, and also to make you guys comfortable in the decisions that you make in everyday bodybuilding. Because especially if you're starting out, there's a lot of questions that you have. Are you training hard enough? Are you eating correctly? Is this gonna affect me? Is that gonna affect me? So at the end of the day, just, you know, do your thing. We're done. Ja, kan gaan. So yeah. So yeah, guys, that's me. End of my video. I'll see you again. See when we can upload a new video, and then see you again. That's me out for the day.